Hello, wonderful students, and welcome to a special series produced by PCSG and CSBS Learning. Hello, I'm Ms Chanelle of CSBS Learning, and I'm here to give you a quick guide as to how the paper 2 for the Communication Studies exam is marked. So, let us begin taking a look at what we have to do for this particular paper. All right. So, um, Going into it, you would know that this particular paper has three questions. All right, we're actually going to go into the structure a little bit first so you get an idea of what's going on. If you've never seen what the paper looks like, you can already find a specimen in the syllabus. All right, and if you can see on the screen, you're going to see what pages they are located on if you have an e-copy of the actual syllabus, both the specimen paper and for the mark scheme. Yeah, so the exam itself is three questions, and the entire exam should take you 2.5 hours, which means that you've got about 50 minutes for every single question. I suggest you take a look at take a I suggest you consider it as 50 minutes for each question, right? Question one is going to focus on module one. Question two is going to focus on module two, and question three is going to focus on module three. So it's very structured like that. So you know that the information for module one, data collection, the knowledge of different organizational styles, discourse styles is going to be in that particular question. Question two is going to involve more about the questions that are concerning linguistics, especially Creoles and language variation, while question three is going to be more the communication topics, looking at oral and written communication, the different types of communication, things like that, right? Let's now look at each question as they are. Now, this is general information because obviously every single year the questions change. What doesn't change is one, the mark scheme, two, the I just said Maxine. The second thing that doesn't change is the fact that each question is going to be ruled or um, assessed under a particular module. All right, so question one is always going to be module one. It is worth 25 marks. And what you're seeing on the screen is the mark distribution. So the content meaning the actual facts that you are going to have to know for module one to integrate and form the basis of your answer, that works out to be 10 marks. This is based on the specimen paper, by the way. 10 marks should be the average for that. Your organization, meaning how you frame the response, that works out to be 7 marks. And your expression is 8 marks. You should think of expression as a language. All right, so all the language factors, such as how well you structure your sentence, your grammar mechanics, punctuation, paragraphing, would be under expression, right? Organization is going to be how you choose to format the answer. So having your introduction, having your points, having your conclusion. All right. For this question is actually separated into parts. Again, as per the specimen paper, the last part of it is the essay, part B, and that's 500 words. And in the specimen paper, you get cues. Cues meaning you're looking at certain points for you to include in your essay. So they basically give you a guide. Whenever you see cues in a question, that's a really good thing because it means that they're going to give you a guide as to how to respond, right? How to, or what information they expect to be in your answer. Don't try to deviate from the cues. That's my main tip, because again, the cues are there to let you know, hey, I want this type of response um, to this question. All right. So here's are some tips for question one, the module one. Read the extract properly. Again, you will not be able to respond if you do not know, if you do not understand what the extract is about, if you do not understand the information from it. So it's really going to be important to read and understand the extract that you're given. Then you respond to the questions based on the information and the awareness that you now have. Your content marks. So we spoke about content marks being 10. That's earned by directly answering the cues. Remember what I just said? Once you answer the cues, you are actually going to be giving the actual answers you want. Now you're probably thinking, okay, so I've already given the answer. What is the purpose of organization and expression? Organization and expression are, it's almost like the packaging. So you want your packaging done in a really good way so that whoever is reading your work can understand it. If you package it badly, they may not even want to open it. If you package it badly, they may open the wrong side first, and then everything will fall around, spill out, and break on the ground, and then you can't look at it again, right? So again, think of organizing your organization and your expression as examples of packaging that are going to help you for the exam, because it's going to make whoever is correcting your paper understand exactly what you mean, understand the message you're trying to get across, right? So 500 words. 500 words. I know a lot of people get scared about the word limit. 500 words. Don't be too upset with Ms Chanelle here right now, but 500 words are what I call baby words. Very much doable, right? Especially because they're giving you cues. Your key for this is to be very concise and precise with your language. And if you're not certain about what I'm talking about, a lot of this information is in one of the textbooks that I actually do recommend for this course. No, don't just use one textbook. I'm saying this right now. Don't just use one textbook. You can use more than one. The more you use, it's more beneficial to you. But the textbook that I think that has this information really well laid out and explained would be the Collins Cape Revision Guide for Communication Studies. If you get an opportunity to get our textbook, I strongly recommend that you do. If you already have another textbook that you're using as a primary textbook in your school, use the Collins as a resource guide. It's very helpful. Then we're going to look at question 2 in paper 2, which is the module 2 question. All right. This particular question under module 2, it's, you're already seeing it's almost the same information that I would have given for module 1. It's going to also, it's really going to follow the same format in terms of your tactics. When I say your tactics, in terms of how you're going to respond to content, just whatever information they're asking for, that's where you're going to build the content, right? It's again a 500 word essay, all right? And again, according to the specimen paper, it's going to be a 500 word essay that's going to have cues as well. So you can look at the cues, and use the cues as a guide as to how you can format the answer. Another good rule of thumb is to follow the actual order of the cues. So if Q A has one particular element, B has another, C has another, tackle A in your essay, then B, then C. All right. Again, content marks are directly earned once you're answering the cues that are given. Organization expression again is equally important, as I just explained for question 1. And as always, read the extract carefully. Everything is going to be based on the extract. Your answer, despite them asking particular questions, is still going to be related to the extract. So always make sure you've read and understood the extract. And when I say read, I mean not just once. Sometimes it may take 2 or 3 readings. So get in the habit of trying to read it quickly, identifying important areas. Remember, when you get the past paper, when you get the actual paper, you can actually mark it up, highlight stuff, however you wish. There is nothing, as far as I know, saying that you cannot do that to the paper. And if you do that, it's to your benefit. So once you can identify areas that are really important, that are in line with the questions, it helps. Another really cool tip is after you read the extract, or and read the question, after you read the extract, you should read the questions and then go back to the extract. That's a really, really helpful tip. It helps you hone in on what really needs to be done. And actually, if you're really good, probably read the questions first and then read the extract. Sometimes I do that and it does kind of work. Doesn't mean that you will only read the extract once. You may still have to read the extract more than once, but trust me, it helps you get the information faster. At the end of the day, you only have recommended, based on the time you have, and maths, 50 minutes per question. And we're looking at the last question that comes in module in paper 2 for communication studies. Question 3 on the module 3. I have question 2 there. That's an error. That's a typo. You can ignore that. But it's going to be question 3, dealing with module 3, module 3 speaking and writing, I would always call that the comms section, communication studies section, and I'll explain that in greater detail in another video. So mark distribution is basically the same as the others. So all the information I gave you for question 1, question 2, they apply here. Follow the people cues, answer the people cues, and we should be good. All right. As always, make sure you read the extract, make sure you read the information that you give you in the actual question and to understand it. And for this one, again, according to the specimen paper, you should have a 300-word essay, and that's actually part B. All right. So this is the information, and this is kind of the mindset you want to have for answering paper 2. I thought it was really important because a lot of people overlook the fact that paper 2 is often the main paper in many subjects, and you need to understand what kind of strategy you should use in order to answer these questions effectively. Having to answer questions like these would sometimes have a lot of various content because, again, modules 2, modules 3 are very, very heavy in communication studies. You want to be able to pull the correct information, the correct content within this very limited space of time, wrap it up neatly, and use lovely words. All right, lovely sentence structure, precise language, concise language. And it does take some time, it does take some practice, but these tips will also help you with that. Also, what will help you is understanding how the marks are apportioned. Understand, even if you have the answers, if it's not well organized, if it's not well said, it can completely affect your overall mark. So don't just think you need to learn the facts, you also need to practice how to present the facts, how to write them. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you're able to understand with a greater degree of knowledge. Sounds quite horrible, but that you're able to have a better understanding of how to approach paper 2 in general. All right, if you've got any questions and any comments, please feel free to put them below, and stay tuned for the other videos in this series. Again, this is produced by PCSG as well as CSBS Learning. Thanks for tuning in, lovely communication students. Take care. Bye.